Welcome to the lesson, Use of Prepositions. After completing this lesson, you will be able to state and identify the use of the prepositions in, at, on, since, for, between, among, of, beside, besides, into, onto. Amir has gone to visit Ravi at his house. Ravi has to prepare a science project for school. Ravi tells Amir that he has already worked since 2 hours on the project. Amir corrects him, saying that he must use the word for. Ravi does not realize the difference. Amir informs him that one must learn to use prepositions correctly. He decides to teach Ravi about the use of prepositions. Come, it is time for us to learn about the use of prepositions. A preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun that shows its relation to another word in a sentence. For example, he stood under the tree. The preposition in this sentence is under. It is placed before the noun tree. We must remember that a preposition expresses a relationship. Thus, the preposition under expresses a relationship between the pronoun he and the noun tree. A preposition can be used to show time, place, purpose, or means. Take a look at the table given to see how this works. A preposition can be used to show place. For example, the cat was on the table. A preposition can be used to show means. For example, I got the book from her. A preposition can be used to show time. For example, we met them at night. Now let us learn in detail about the use of prepositions. In, at, and on can be used to indicate place. In can be used with a room, a building, a street, a town, a country. For example, in the room, in the building, in the street, in a town, in India. On can be used for a surface, a floor, etc. For example, on the table, on the floor, on an island. At can be used for places where one works at, for events, for objects that one is next to, etc. For example, at the office, at school, at the table, at the signal. However, in, at, and on can also be used to indicate time. In can be used with months, years, time of the day, seasons, etc. For example, in February, in 2010, in the evening, in winter, in time. On can be used with days of the week, etc. For example, on Saturday, on that night, on time. At can be used with night, noon to indicate time, etc. For example, at noon, at 6 o'clock, at that time. Let us look at the correct use of some prepositions. We must learn how to use the prepositions since and for. Since suggests when an action began, while for suggests the duration of an action. Read these examples. He has been waiting since 6 o'clock in the morning. Since is used to indicate that the action of waiting began at 6 in the morning. I studied for 3 hours. For indicates that the duration of studying was 3 hours. Let us now consider the prepositions between and among. The preposition between is used with reference to two things or persons, while the preposition among is used with reference to more than two things or people. For example, this is between Rajesh and Karan. There was an argument among the students. Now let us see the difference between of and of. The preposition of expresses origin or cause, belonging, connection, quality, or even material. For examples, the dress is made of silk. Here, of is used to express the material the dress is made of. Look at the next example. He is a relative of Jill. Here, of is used to show a connection. The last example, I am proud of you, is used to show a quality. The preposition of is used very differently. Of can mean from, away, not on, or a distance, etc. For examples, keep off the grass means keep away from the grass, and the boy fell off the chair means the boy was not on the chair. Similarly, beside and besides have different usages. Beside means by the side of or irrelevant to, whereas besides means in addition to, apart from, as well as. For examples, she sat beside me means she sat by the side of me. This is beside the point. Shows that whatever is happening is irrelevant to the point. Take a look at the last example. Besides, we are already here. The preposition besides is used to add more information. Sometimes we confuse the use of in and into and on and onto. Let us study these prepositions closely. In and on are used to show things at rest. For example, my dress is in the bag. The bag is on the bed. Into is used to show movement from the outside to the inside. For example, the lion went into the cave. Into shows that the lion moved from outside to the inside of the cave. Onto is used to show movement from one level to another or movement towards a surface. For example, she climbed onto the truck. Onto is used to show there is a movement from the ground to the truck. Look at the next example. Jane threw a die onto the board. Here, onto is used to show movement of the die towards a surface. We know that prepositions can be used to indicate time, place, means, purpose. But prepositions can also be used to express different relations. Prepositions can be used to express manner. For example, the man spoke with dignity. To express possession. For example, he was a man of means. To express measure, rate, or value. For examples, he won the race by a millisecond. Vegetables are bought by the kilo. The man lends money at an interest rate of 2%. To express contrast, concession. For examples, in spite of his efforts, he failed. With all his wealth, he is still unhappy. To express motive, inferences. For examples, from what he said, it seems like a tough decision. He did it from his desire to be loved. We have looked at the use of prepositions. Let us read some more examples. Amir has explained the use of prepositions to Ravi. Let us now revise the main points for Ravi. A preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun that shows its relation to another word in a sentence. A preposition expresses a relationship. A preposition can be used to show time, place, purpose or means. In, at and on can be used to indicate place. In can be used with a room, a building, a street, a town, a country. On can be used for a surface, a floor, etc. At can be used for places where one works at, for events, for objects that one is next to, etc. In, at and on can also be used to indicate time. In can be used with months, years, time of the day, seasons, etc. On can be used with days of the week, etc. At can be used with night, noon, to indicate time, etc. Since suggests when an action began, while for suggests the duration of an action. Between is used with reference to two things or persons, while among is used with reference to more than two things or people. Of expresses origin or cause, belonging, connection, quality, or even material. Of can mean from, away, not on, or a distance, etc. Beside means by the side of or irrelevant to, whereas besides means in addition to, apart from, as well as. In and on are used to show things at rest. Into is used to show movement from the outside to the inside. Onto is used to show movement from one level to another or movement towards a surface. Prepositions can also be used to express manner, to express possession, to express measure, rate or value, to express contrast, concession, to express motive, inferences.